What's up, Waterboys, and welcome to our Waterboys Thursday today. I'm Ian.
I'm Theo.
I'm Hayden.
Man, what a crazy past week for the NBA.
Dude.
We're going to be covering a lot of it this podcast. We got 3 segments. We got new trades, draft night. We're going to be covering the top 15 picks, and free agents to end it off. So let's start it off with new trades. Man, there's been some crazy ones. What should we start out with?
Which ones? We might as well start off with one of the biggest ones. Chris Paul to the Suns.
Oh my gosh.
What are we even thinking about that one?
Well, I think it's a very good trade for the Suns. They did have to give away Kelly, which he was averaging a solid 18 points, which that surprised me. 18 points. I didn't know he was that crazy of a player, which he's actually looks like he's going to go to the Warriors, which is going to be pretty crazy. Great for them. We can talk about that in a little bit. But so Chris Paul, they give away Ricky Rubio, which that was their point guard, but this is a huge upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with him paired with Booker, he'll be able to make it so Booker is on a whole new level of playing.
Yeah, but because you have 2 star, arguably Devin Booker, we can call him a star in the league. Now you have 2 stars to worry about. Because Chris Paul, even though he's old, he knows how to play. He's got the IQ. He knows how to run point guard. So now you have 2 stars.
Yeah, he's very smart of a player, and he's going to be able to, pass some of that knowledge on to Booker too.
Definitely.
I think that's what most of it is. I think it's a better developmental move than it is anything. They're not going to. They could arguably not make the playoffs this year.
No, I think they're making the playoffs.
They're making the playoffs.
I don't know about that.
DeAndre Ayton, Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and then DeAndre Ayton at the center.
Projection right here.
They're gonna make the playoffs.
6 seed.
They're gonna make the playoffs.
6 seed.
I think maybe 8 seed.
Maybe.
But they're gonna make the playoffs.
I think 8 seed at highest.
Yeah, but I've seen videos of them already working out together.
Have you?
Yeah, they're already working out together, and I think that's going to be a strong dynamic duo we can see in the league.
How do you guys think the Thunder fared with this trade?
Well, the Thunder, they have from now to 2028 17 first-round picks.
That is insane.
That's what I was about to say. I think I can officially say their GM is.
Oh, he's made some
5.
He's made some insane
right
moves.
Now. Top 5 in the league right now.
Well,
their GM is.
They're definitely, I think, in the rebuild mode. They got a lot of young guys, and I think it's a good time to start. They're probably gonna let Gallinari go in free agency. They're probably gonna
and they gave away Ricky Rubio. Which I thought was a little surprising, but it looks like they're just trying to get a young team, a bunch of young guys, and just to grow for the future.
They got good young guys too. Really good young guys.
So a whole bunch of picks and good young guys.
Yeah.
Which another trade that the Thunder made was Al Horford. They picked up Al Horford, but they got 2 picks for it.
I like that move, because Al he needed to get out of Philadelphia.
He didn't work there.
There was a lot of stuff going on there with the Twitter. There was a lot of drama, like with his family saying they hated the 76ers like fan base and everything. They got a lot of backlash on that, but I think it was good for Al to get out of there. And I think he should fit good with them.
So the 76ers, from the Al Horford trade, pick up Danny Green. Now, Danny Green got traded for Dennis Schroeder. The Lakers and Thunder swapped Dennis Schroeder and Danny Green. Let's talk about that trade first.
I think it's really good for the 76ers if Danny Green can keep up. If he can get his 3-point shot, back to where it was sort of there in the Spurs days, which is probably impossible. But if he can get it up, because the 76ers are in huge need of an outside perimeter shooter. They picked one up in the draft, actually. And they got someone else we'll talk about in a little bit. But if I saw a funny meme that it was a backboard, and it was a broken black backboard with glass, and it was like, this is the backboard of the 76ers after Danny Green and point guard. I'm on brain fart.
Milton? Ben Simmons?
Ben Simmons.
How do you forget Ben Simmons?
I just had a brain fart.
Gosh.
But yeah, if he can get his 3-point shot back there, I think it's very good for them.
Yeah. No, I agree. And what do you guys think about Schroeder to the Lakers? What does that do?
That's the best move out of all of them.
That was a really good move because
by the Lakers, by far the best move.
Well, Rajon Rondo Rajon Rondo's going into free agency.
Yeah, he's going to be leaving.
He does have a lot of options. He might not go sign back with the Lakers. He could go somewhere else. So then bringing in Dennis Schroeder, a great starter. He started on the Hawks.
Did you know how much
great.
he averaged? Guess how much?
Around 17 points.
18 points.
18 points.
Which is more than Chris Paul. More than Chris Paul averaged last year.
How many assists though?
Ooh, I don't know. We could look that up.
Maybe I think he averaged around 6 or 5 assists.
So he's definitely gonna be a great starter for them, a great backup for LeBron and AD. You know, good to run the floor. I think that's a very, very good pickup.
That's a big point.
He's their third option now. It's gonna be.
You think?
Yeah.
Not Kuz?
Oh my!
Don't even start talking about Kuz.
See, the reason why I like Dennis Schroeder going to the Lakers is because he runs the floor, and that's what the Lakers like to do.
Yeah.
When you have AD running the whole court, dude, lobs all day. LeBron running the court. It's Lake Show. I think is going to be brought back. It was there with Rondo, but with Dennis Schroeder, it's just going to be even better.
Before Schroeder left the Hawks, I thought Schroeder could have developed into a point guard that could run a team.
Really?
Yeah, a point guard that can get you a championship. And then I think he took a little step back in his development, but I think playing alongside Chris Paul, I think that was good for him.
Mm-hmm.
And I
he
think
definitely learned from that.
Going to the Lakers, I think he's going to be good. He's going to be disciplined. I think he's going to do very well there.
Yeah, the Lakers are looking to go back to back, which I hope. I was hoping it'd be good matchup between them and the Warriors, but now with Klay, sadly, that was very hard to read with Klay because I was so excited for the Warriors. I was
Are you talking about his recent leg injury? We just heard. Yeah, it was it was on draft day.
Yeah.
That they announced. They kept it quiet, but then they finally announced that Klay Thompson does have an Achilles injury. So
I was hoping it was going to be Warriors versus the Nets in the finals. But now with this, I mean, they're looking to pick up Kelly Oubre. But they're looking to trade for Kelly, which that is a trade that I think is going to happen.
Kelly Oubre.
Which that would be insane for them. If they had Klay, that would be crazy. But I don't know who they're going to trade for that. Who do you think they could trade for Kelly?
They could trade their second pick. James Wiseman, who they picked up.
No, I don't think they would do
Kelly.
that.
No.
Maybe Andrew Wiggins.
See, that's what I was thinking earlier. In our first podcast, I said they could trade Andrew Wiggins for Kelly Oubre. The only thing that's weird is the cap, because Andrew Wiggins has got a big contract.
That's true. But I see the Warriors probably next year getting to the second round, maybe getting out, and next year. This year actually might not be their year. The year after that looks like that's going to be their year.
If Klay can come back healthy.
Yeah, but I cannot wait for, especially if the Nets. Oh my gosh, if the Nets get James Harden, I'm not cheering for them anymore because that's just like unfair. That's just unfair. Like that's not even.
Well, it's not what we want to see.
It's not even going to be fun.
It's not what we want to see.
Yeah.
Well, the Nets. Joe Harris might be on the block.
Yeah.
He's supposedly going to be a free agent.
I think he's going to stay.
But he's got one more contract year.
I think he's going to stay. Because he's a great 3-point shooter.
Yeah,
he's just another option. Does he come off the bench?
He started last year.
I think he'll.
But they didn't have a lot of guys to start.
Yeah, that's true.
Sometimes he came off the bench for Karis LeVert.
That's true.
But
all right, let's talk about another trade. All right, the Mavericks getting Josh Richardson, and the 36th pick, who they drafted Tyler Bay, and the Sixers acquire Seth Curry. This one's a big one. I like this one.
That's a good one. The 76ers definitely needed a new front office and a new head coach, and they got that.
Yeah.
And now they're putting together a team. They know they need shooters. Everyone knows.
They finally have shooters now.
If I'm an NBA GM right now, I don't know why they're giving the 76ers shooters. I don't know why that's just something that's happening.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. They're building a good team. They're gonna be a team to contend with in the East next year.
Yeah. And Seth, I mean, he's a 45% 3-point shooter. So he's gonna be a guy to get the ball they can look at behind the arc. And do you guys want to know a fun fact?
Yeah.
Fun Ian's fun facts. Seth Curry will actually be playing for his father-in-law. I don't know if you guys know
really?
That. He is married to Doc Rivers' daughter.
That's right. I totally forgot about that. That's right.
He is married to Doc Rivers' daughter. So I don't know what that's gonna be like. I don't know if he's gonna get an extra little love or harder on him, but
It'll probably be something.
It depends. It depends how the daughter comes home for dinner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like those Thanksgiving nights, man. It
Dad,
all comes down
give
to
him more
those.
playtime. Give him more playtime. But yeah, the 76ers, they're gonna be hard to, they're gonna be a good team in the East. But,
Speaking of a team in the,
yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, it's also good for the Mavericks because Josh.
Oh yeah.
He averaged 13 when Seth averaged 12.
Yep.
But they're kind of sort of a little bit the same player, but he's going to be good for them as well. I think it's a fair trade.
Will. He's not a shooter, but he can score the ball.
Yeah, he can score.
In Miami, he did really well. He was progressing well as a player.
Mm-hmm.
I think 76ers, anyone on the 76ers last year who was young, that was not a good developmental year at all.
Yeah.
They did not. That was a horrible year for anyone young on the 76ers. So it's good for Josh to get out of that. I think it's going to be good for him.
Yeah.
Mavs are going to be.
I think he'll be a good fit on the Mavs, yeah.
Speaking of, Hayden just said the 76ers are going to be a giant contender in the East.
I wouldn't say giant.
No, speaking...
I think they're a second
They're
round
gonna,
team now.
Yeah, they're definitely a second round team.
I think they'll have a good maybe 7 series second round, but I think they could probably most likely get out in the second round. And maybe...
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Guess who they're going to get out to? The Milwaukee Bucks.
Oh
Trading
man, let's
for
talk about
Jrue
that.
Holiday,
Let's talk about that.
We'll have to get into a bogey a little bit because his trade is a little interesting. But let's talk about Jrue Holiday first.
Huge upgrade on defense for them. Jrue is a very, very underrated defender. He averaged 19 points.
He's a great player.
Yeah, averaged 19 points.
He's gonna be. I wouldn't say he's gonna be their second option. Because I think Middleton's still going to get his shots, but he's going to be their second best player.
That's actually a good big three right there.
It's a great lineup.
With that, they're a serious threat.
It's a big team.
Yeah.
Which is going to be hard to play against, especially. There's a big contrast between teams right now. You have like half the NBA building teams, 6'6" and up. You have the other half of the NBA building teams where you don't have a guy above 6'10" in your lineup. So it's going to be interesting. I'm gonna love to see the playoff matchup next year.
It's
gonna be a lot of strategy.
Yeah, because it used to be the West was just stacked, and the East was just like 1 or 2 good teams. But now it's like, whoa, like building. All the teams are suddenly becoming good.
I'm glad they didn't go through with the no conference idea. It's gonna balance out at some point, and it's balancing.
It's
always
balancing out.
Yeah, and against Hayden, you said in the playoffs. It depends how we'll see how they do in the playoffs. In the playoffs against the Heat, I noticed that the Bucks, they have no half-court options. Like, they cannot play half-court ball. Giannis can every once in a while, but they cannot play half-court ball.
Yeah, it's all
exactly. Bringing Jrue Holiday to the Bucks opens that up. He can create that half-court offense now.
I'll tell you what, I still think the Bucks are not going to get to the finals next year. I think it's coaching. Watching the Bucks play against the Heat last year, or this playoff, coaching was the problem. They did not. I think they needed to hire a new coach. I know Giannis likes the coach they have now, but
Giannis also liked Jason Kidd.
He did. Yeah, exactly. They could have moved on from him, but then you have to look at. Who were the options? I'm not sure you had an option that you really liked replacing their coach, but. I think coaching's going to be the problem with them.
Yeah, I see him going to Eastern Conference Finals, but I see the Nets, especially if KD comes back who he was. Because I think we're all forgetting how much of a beast KD was. Yeah. Like, he literally can just, especially with Kyrie at his side, like, holy moly, that's going to be
and we've never seen him
crazy.
In the East. Never seen him in the East. It's going to be an interesting... But you also have to think he has to adjust. I'm sure he's been living there the past year, but he still has to adjust to playing over there, to playing in that climate. So I think the Nets are going to have a hard start to the season. It might go 10-10, something like that, similar to how Miami did.
But I think they'll get the groove.
Yeah, when Miami first got LeBron, they started off pretty rocky, but you progress into a good team.
Still talking about that Bucks trade. I got a question for you guys. Do you think it was a good trade for the Pelicans?
Because they're not contending. They got a couple picks. They did get a lot.
They got
three
three first round
swaps.
picks. Three first round picks. And they got Eric Bledsoe and George Hill. I like Eric Bledsoe is a good player. He's an underrated good player.
I'm not too into Eric Bledsoe or George Hill in that I don't think they're going to play for the Pelicans.
I don't know. Do you think George Hill's going to be a backup? Do you think he's going to be a backup point guard next year?
He's backup. He's mentor. He's going to be a mentor for those young guys.
I heard Stan Van.
Would you rather have Lonzo start over?
I have Lonzo start because I want to build through Lonzo.
Hey, that's who I was going to talk about. I heard Stan Van Gundy said that Lonzo won't be his point guard. I heard that that was said. So it'll be interesting. I think they're going to end up moving on. Yeah, because he's the coach. They're going to end up moving on from Lonzo, I think.
That'd be interesting. That'd be very interesting.
That would be interesting. So, I mean, look at teams to try to trade for him. I'm not sure what his value is. His value is kind of wobbly, but we'll see about what happens there.
Now, going back to the Bucks, they also tried to trade to the Kings. They tried to get Bogey. They tried to do a sign-in trade.
Yeah.
But for
That's
some
not
reason, it's kind of Bogey never accepted the sign and trade agreements. So now they're going through a huge thing where like, oh, Bogey's actually not going to the Bucks.
Yeah, that was going to be a good trade. If I'm Bogey, I go to the Bucks because it looks good on you.
I leave the Kings. I don't know if I go to the Bucks, but I leave the Kings.
Well, I would go along with the trade just because as a player, I think it looks better on you if you
that's true.
You go along with the trade. You play for a contender. I think he's going to have a decent role on that team.
Mm-hmm.
That's a contract year. I would definitely I'd play for the Bucks just for a year.
Maybe he just doesn't want to live in Milwaukee.
That's a possibility. There's a lot of places in the NBA I would not live. Like, I mean, talking about Cleveland, Milwaukee. Not that they're bad cities or anything. They have good history. They have a lot of good stuff goes on there, but you could live on the coast, and that's ultimately what it comes down to.
Well, he's living in Sacramento now. It's not much evidence.
That's also
I mean, he's just moving into snow, more snow.
Yeah, maybe he's tired of it. Maybe he's
tired. That could be true. All right, let's talk about a three-way trade. In this trade, the Brooklyn Nets got Shamet from the Clippers. It's funny because whenever me and Sam, my brother, played 2K, we'd always be like Shamet. It kind of last name kind of sounds like a swear word. Like Shamet's first. We always be like, but no, it's just a name. Anyways, the Clippers get Luke Kennard and the Pistons get Rodney McGruer and a 2020 first round pick they got the 19th pick and they got Sadiq Bey. Yeah. So how do you guys feel about that?
For the Clippers, that's a good pickup. Luke Kennard.
He averaged 15.8 points.
Well, he's a good 3-point shooter as well.
Yeah, they went from 9.3 points to 15, so hopefully he can keep that up. And yeah, it will be good. He'll be a good option for them.
I like it on all three teams side. Landry Shamet's a good player for the Nets. Mm-hmm. Pistons got Rodney McGruder and a first pick, which turned out to be Sadiq Bey. Sadiq Bey is a great player.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting.
I think that was a good trade for the Clippers. Yeah. A good pickup.
Mm-hmm.
I like Shamet on their team, but getting Luke, that's an upgrade.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the Rockets. All right, they traded away Covington, which I thought was weird because I thought he fitted pretty good on there. I can't tell what the Rockets are doing. I can't tell if they're gonna keep Harden, Westbrook, or if they're gonna give him away, or if they're trying to rebuild. Because when they gave away Covington, it's just weird because they didn't get much for him.
Yeah.
And I just can't tell what they're doing. We're gonna have to see.
They're trying to bluff it. I think, in my opinion, they're trying to act like we don't need to trade these guys, and so their value goes up. But
But Covington to the Trailblazers.
I love it. It's one of my favorite trades.
Have some insane shooters now.
I love it.
It's like anyone could basically just pick up the rock and drain it.
3-and-D guy. This is what Portland needed. They needed one more guy like this. And if they can re-sign Carmelo, I think they're going to re-sign Carmelo in the free agency.
Yeah, no, they should.
And if they can re-sign Whiteside, this is exactly what they needed.
Yeah.
And if CJ McCollum has a great year, they're going to make the playoffs.
I don't like the trade.
What? Why not?
I like Covington to the Trailblazers. I think that's a great pickup. 2 first-round picks for Covington is not a good trade.
Why not?
I don't care where the picks are. I don't care what they place in the first round. 2 first-round picks is a price you pay for a player who's going to really change your team.
You mean Portland giving away 2 first-round picks
for
to get
Robert Covington? That's too much for me.
and Trevor Ariza.
But they got rid of.
You know who I could
I
see
don't
them
know.
getting
It's
that
a
can
bad
make him a
trade.
real threat? A little
You
reunion.
think they're gonna get it back?
I think. Well, it's rumored, but I think if they did get that, maybe like if Hassan leaves, maybe they pick him up. But I think that can make him a bigger threat because now with the West, I mean, it's pretty stacked. They look like they're probably gonna end up maybe getting out in the first round again, unless I mean this does make them better. They have like crazy
It makes
players
them way
with
better.
range.
That makes them
It
way
does
better.
because literally, usually on teams, you have this player to guard. He's gonna be their 3-point shooter. But now with them, it's like, anyone that gets the ball can basically shoot a 3.
It's a
gonna be
good
pretty
pickup
crazy.
for sure. Just 2 first-round picks.
Yeah,
I see what you're saying. They did. I see how you're saying Portland did give up a lot. I can see that now. But I think right now they're in a mode where it's like,
Yeah, they
we're
need
not
to
going to
win.
rebuild. We want to win now with the guys that we have.
But the thing is, those are assets that you can use for other guys as well.
True.
Mhm.
Because you're not going to win a championship just trading for Robert Covington. You need more still.
yeah, you do.
So, for me, I mean, you could say it's like you're getting rid of Trevor Ariza's contract, but I don't know. I just think 2 picks is a lot for a player.
Yeah.
But, I mean, to get rid of a bad contract and to get Covington,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's what Portland needed, though.
it's what they needed, yeah.
It's what they needed.
It's definitely what they needed.
All right, well, that's all we got today for the trades. There's definitely going to be more to come, and we'll be hitting them next week. So for our next segment, let's talk about the draft night. I think they did a really good job last night with how they did it with the virtual.
Mhm.
It was all virtual.
Yeah.
It went pretty smooth.
Yeah, they did a good job.
Like they had really good videos for each of the players,
Yeah.
and they all got their segments to talk. I think it smoothed pretty good. There were some technical difficulties, but I think it went pretty smooth. And how about your guys' picks? Did you get any of them right?
Well, I said no brainer. I said Anthony Edwards
Yeah, I mean, come on.
is gonna go.
Let's talk about him to the Timberwolves. I think. Well, it was pretty obvious, but now we can talk about it more because we know it's for sure. Do you think they're gonna trade him away?
No, they
I
keep
think
him.
if they were going to trade, they would have traded the pick.
Yeah.
But
But I think it's good for them because he is a crazy explosive player. He can catch lobs and finish with strength. It's kind of sort of like Cat, but not real. Like him and Cat are a little bit of the same because Cat he's a center of course, but he can also score. He can score a lot. But yeah, I think them, and especially with D'Lo, that's a crazy big 3 right there.
Well,
it's going to be a good team.
Yeah, he's a 3-level scorer. That's why I like him.
My problem really is you heard a lot the night before draft night about Anthony Edwards needing a team with structure.
Yeah,
and
he does need a little maturing.
A lot of people talked. That's why he went to Georgia, because he needed a team with structure. He wanted to be away from distractions. Which in Minnesota you are away from distractions, but you're on a team with D'Angelo Russell and Karl Anthony Towns, so you're not James Johnson. You're not on the most mature team.
So are you saying they don't have a leader there?
They don't have a veteran that I like, or
they picked up Ricky Rubio,
but they don't
I
have.
mean, he can give some good.
But
he's coming off the bench for D'Angelo.
And they don't.
Yeah,
have
but not as like a solid player, but like a role
mentor,
player. Yeah,
just
mentor.
one guy that's always going to be there to keep your head on right.
Yeah.
But they don't have a good organization structure that's gonna help him develop. I think it could end up being another Andrew Wiggins situation.
Hopefully not, but there's possibility because.
But he's a great
player.
player. He has great potential.
He's natural talent.
Yeah.
He has natural talent. So once they put him in the system, he's just gonna flow.
Well, I don't know if you guys heard what he was saying. It was a little like hesitant. He was saying that he was like, born to play this, but he doesn't know if he loves it.
Yeah.
Which that is a little bit like, oh.
Well, he said
he was talking about the fun part of the NBA. He was saying he'd rather be drafted to the NFL.
Yeah, he said if I could be drafted to NFL right now, I'd go.
Because he could have more fun, is what the thing was. Which, you get it.
You can't hate him for it. He's just an athlete. He's just a freak athlete that can do both.
But I mean, he's in the NBA, which is
you're getting
the highest
to the NBA.
That is the
number one pick. It's interesting for him to be that way, but I think he's going to be a good player as long as
he's got to stay focused.
As long as they don't screw him up in there. I would have preferred them to trade that pick. I would have much preferred them to trade that pick.
All right, well, let's move. Yeah, I thought they were going to do that like minutes before. All right, let's move on to number 2. We all guess this one, and I guess this one.
James Wiseman,
James Wiseman to the Warriors.
I knew it was going to happen.
Hayden you thought it was going to be, Onyekwa or
Denny Avdia. Yeah. I thought
that guy didn't even go top 10.
I thought for the Warriors
he went 9.
To maximize the team that they had, I thought Denny Avdia would be the perfect guy for it because he's a scorer. He can move.
They don't really need another scorer. No, I guess now with Clay gone.
But he's an off-ball. He's a good off-ball player, and the Warriors are really an off-ball team, so he can move off the ball. Yeah. For me, Wiseman, if you're the Warriors and you have the team you have right now, I think you maximize shooting, and I think you throw everything at the 3-point line. And you go straight.
They have a lot of three. They have a solid 3-point line.
I'm saying build a team.
He's what they need, which is rim protection, and he can still run the floor. Being a 7-foot center, he can still run the floor.
But you can get a center. You can trade for a center.
Yeah.
Pretty much anywhere, especially in this league right now, you can get a center for cheap. So
here's why he fits. He runs the floor, like Ian said.
At a 7-1 center.
He
can
plays
run the floor,
defense. He's not a superstar defense. He's not being drafted because of his defense, but he can play defense. But the big thing is that he runs the floor, and when you have Stephen Curry running the floor for you, and you have 2 guys that can shoot on each wing, and a giant center that Curry can either lob it to, who are you gonna guard on a 3-on-2? Where the guy's gonna go?
Yeah.
You're gonna step on Curry. You're gonna guard James Wiseman. Either way, it's a point. It's a bucket.
I mean, but what about having 5 scorers on the floor who can all shoot?
You don't need 5 scorers on the court.
They have enough shooters.
That's what the NBA is gonna turn into. You're gonna have 5 guys on the court who can shoot.
Especially then, sometimes you get 5 ball hogs.
No, that's what I'm talking about. Denny Avdia moves off the ball. What are the Warriors known for? Steph moves off the ball. Clay moves off the ball. Draymond moves off the ball. Yeah,
you could use 3 of those guys. You don't need 5. I think
you maximize what you have.
Yes, the NBA is going into all scorer, no just rim protecting center. But I think you still need a big that can, be explosive on both in the paint and both sides.
Yeah, I'm just saying you can get that for cheap in the NBA right now.
I think he was the best available, and I think they picked him because he has potential trade value.
Yeah, he's not going to be a star in the first 2 years. I think he needs 2 years to develop. And with Curry and everyone there, they can give him a lot of tips. But I think he needs a couple years to develop.
Yeah.
All right, number 3. I'm still 3 for 3 on my guesses, which was pretty obvious.
This is fun.
LaMelo Ball to the Hornets. LeVar and MJ can finally 1v1.
Who's ready for that 1v1?
Finally 1v1.
Who's ready for that?
I mean, I'm more excited about that than LaMelo. I don't know if you guys saw this, but 3 years ago when Lonzo was drafted, he wore a hat, right? And he said, when LaMelo's drafted, I'm going to wear a hat called I Told You So. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but he did have
Did he have the hat?
That said I Told You So.
I didn't catch that. That's funny.
The reason I really like LaMelo is because he's played professional basketball. He's not just going into professional basketball. Granted, all those are different than the NBA. But it's still, you're playing against grown adults. So he's used to the feel. He's not coming in as a kid. He's coming in as a professional player. But I think he's going to fit good with them.
How does he fit with the Hornets? They have Terry Rozier.
It enhances his court. It enhances him become a playmaker more than a scorer.
I don't like it. I don't like any of the top 4 picks. But I think Well, okay, I like it in the sense that you picked the best player available, and that's what you need to do. If you're the Hornets, you need to pick the best player available because you really have no team. You have no structure right now.
Yeah.
You pick the best player available and you work with it. But you just spent a lot of money on Rozier. If you draft, I mean, they have small forwards, so it's not like you're gonna put Melo at the small forward. They're gonna look to probably trade Rozier, but I don't think they're gonna get a good return on him.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna build around Melo. Melo's gonna be that starting.
I think
Melo's gonna be the starting point.
They
guard.
get one more solid role player, and in 1 or 2 years, they get they make a couple more moves. They can be a playoff team.
No,
I think that's a hot take, but
they need a lot.
I think they need one more solid role player. It depends. We're gonna have to see. I'm excited for this next year to see how. I hope Melo doesn't become an Alonzo. I hope he actually becomes a solid
Lonzo's
player.
good. I still think Lonzo's a good player. He's got, and LaMelo's just gonna be a better version of that. Hey, do you guys know? Do you guys know on 2K when like you can go to all the settings, or not the settings, but like say you're doing your own draft on 2K. Yeah. And they show you all the shooting percentages and everything, the draft workouts, and they show you like the lifting weights and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You said LaMelo's he's not a kid. He's been playing against grown men, but he's skinny.
He's skinny.
He's super skinny. He's skinnier than Brandon Ingram. When Brandon Ingram was in the league, he's really skinny. Like that dude probably couldn't even do like 20 push-ups.
So what are you trying to say?
I'm saying that he's not strong. He's not strong, and he's not. I think he's gonna have a little bit of a learning curve just because he's not strong, and I don't think he can. Get like Ian. You could probably bench press more than LaMelo.
Oh, I can bench press a solid amount, but I don't know. LaMelo's still he's still an NBA player, so I don't know. What you think you can do? Think you can do more push-ups than him?
Oh, I could easily could do.
You think you can do more push-ups?
I
than
do.
him? End of the month. Let's see if you can do 100 push-ups straight. I know, end of next
consecutively?
month.
End of next month?
End of next month, we'll see if you can do 100 push-ups straight. We'll get a video. We'll make it a YouTube video.
Only we got to get LaMelo to do 100 straight.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll hit him up.
I bet he could probably only do 50.
All right, well.
Not even. I bet he probably could only do 40.
We'll see. All right, let's move to very, very surprising. Patrick Williams to the Bulls.
I think I said this in last podcast that he would go to the Bulls.
No, there's no way. There's no way. He didn't even start.
I said Killian.
He didn't even start. He averaged 4 points. I think they know something we don't.
I don't like it because, I mean, what we said, you could trade down. If you really wanted him, you could have traded down, got assets for him. That's the biggest problem with the pick. It's not the player he is. I think he's going to turn out to be a good player. I like when guys are disliked straight off the bat. You know, Porzingis, all these guys. I like when they come in as underdogs, but the only problem is you could have traded down to get him. You could have traded far down to get him.
Like I'm saying though, I think they know something we don't.
They have to.
We're gonna have to see. He's an aggressive defender, but I mean we're just gonna have to see if it comes to be a bust and he's not good. They're probably gonna get some hate on that because there are so many picks down the line that they could have gotten that would have been a lot better. And breaking news, everyone. Kelly Oubre has officially been traded to the Warriors. And guess what OKC got for them? There's a 2021 first-round pick.
Are you serious?
I don't.
Protected.
Well, I mean, I just saw
Protected
it.
as well?
I just saw it.
Protected first round.
I just saw it, so maybe they got more. We'll have to
it
see.
looks like they got
but
protected.
I mean, Kelly is a
why?
good player. Mr. Steal Your Girl is headed to the Bay.
Why didn't they get anything?
I don't know. I don't know what they're doing.
You guys want to hear something?
They're just getting.
Yeah, but Kelly
a lot of
Oubre only has one
Give
more
it
year
to us.
on
Wait,
his
he's got
contract.
something. What do you got?
The Warriors are paying $66 million in luxury tax.
Holy
Jeez.
crap.
Yeah.
They got a lot of money.
How, though? KD left.
They got a lot of money. They're the Bay,
they
man.
got Draymond.
They're the Bay.
Draymond's got a max. Clay's got a max. They literally are paying Clay to sit on it. Well, he's injured.
Yeah.
But they're paying Clay to play Fortnite.
All right, well, that's your breaking news. Let's go on to number 5 pick, Isaac Okoro to the Cavs. I think this was pretty solid.
I agree.
Pretty solid.
It's kind of weird. They have a lot of small forwards, but I like Isaac, so.
He's explosive, and he's what they need, which is an impact full defender. The Cavs didn't really have anyone that could defend the opposing team's like score. You know, they didn't really have anyone like that. So now if he can come in and hopefully grow to be a really good lockdown defender, I think he's a good pickup for them.
You pair him with Sexton. You got two good defensive
Darius
players
Garland
right
as well.
Yeah.
Sexton's a good defender, but he's going to be on the point guard.
Exactly,
yeah. So, I think they need to grow into more of a defensive team.
I agree.
And he's explosive. He can catch lobs, throw it down. I think they need a little bit of that, a little bit of oomph, to give him some what do you call it? Like energy.
They had that in the court. They had that with the last pick. They picked Kevin Porter Jr. I thought.
Whatever happened to him? We were waiting. No, actually, he had a great year. He had a great year. He was just very quiet because Cleveland was quiet.
Yeah. All right. Well, next one. This is my favorite one.
I like him too.
My favorite one.
Can you say his name?
Onyeka Okwa. We're not gonna try last. Onyeka though. To the Hawks.
His two sisters, I think, play in the WNBA.
Dang.
Well, you know why I'm really excited about this? Is because I think he'll pair with Trey very well. I think that could be a good dynamic duo.
We're tweeting at each other right after the draft.
Yeah. Did you know? Here's another fun fact. He played at Chino Hills with the Ball brothers.
No way.
Yeah.
What?
He played at Chino Hills with the Ball brothers, and while I was watching the draft yesterday, Onyeka's older brother was said a long time ago. He said, "My younger brother, he's gonna be bigger than the Ball brothers."
Dang.
And I guess no one listened to him until now.
Well, he got pick 6, and the Ball brothers are 2 and 3,
we'll see. I think he can grow to be a really successful player because he's very active in both sides of the paint. So he can block a shot on the defense side, but he can throw down a lob on the offensive side. And I think we're going to see a lot of lobs from Trey to him.
So
we're going to see a lot of lobs.
Here's a question. He's a center, power forward center.
Yeah.
You have John Collins.
He's a center.
Well, do you think Clint Capella's gone? And where do you
I
think
totally forgot
Totally forgot
was
they had
there.
Clint Capella.
So that'll be
What the
interesting.
heck?
Yeah.
The Rockets are
Maybe
idiots.
they roll Clint Capella at the
They
power
just-
forward and they put
John Collins.
Clint
You have
Capella.
John
You have John Collins. Yeah.
That's interesting. We're gonna have to see what they
small
do.
forward.
That'll
But
be
then you have
interesting.
Cam Reddish. You have the redheaded
They have
kid.
somebody.
Who's
Kevin
the red?
Herter.
Kevin
They have
Herter.
Kevin
someone in
Herter.
that
At shooting
position.
guard.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to see. I think they'll be. I think that's what it's gonna be. Something Trey wanted, because Trey was a little frustrated that he wanted another big player. So I think they're gonna be a good team. I don't know if they'll make the playoffs next year, but they're gonna get closer and closer. All right, number 7.
Killian Hayes
Killian Hayes to the Pistons.
It's a good pick. I don't have much to say about it, but it's not a bad pick.
I actually had him when we were doing our mock
Great
draft.
size for a point guard.
Yeah.
He's a big point guard. His strengths are more if he's got high IQ. He's a good passer. I think. I mean, it's not going to make a huge impact on the Pistons, but it's going to help them. Yeah, it's definitely going to help them.
Yeah, I mean the Pistons. The Pistons are so out of it that I don't even know why they're in the league.
I mean, they got to rebuild a little bit.
Yeah,
but I think it's a good
interesting
pick.
that they traded Luke
Kevin
Kennard.
Herter?
No, Luke Kennard.
Luke Kennard, yeah.
Because
It's
I thought
interesting.
he could have been a good
Just to get another shooting guard.
We're gonna have to see.
Who's Sadiq Bey? They got Sadiq Bey out of that.
Do you think they're gonna
I think
trade
they
away?
could build a good team.
Do you think they're gonna trade away Blake Griffin?
Yep.
No,
Well,
I think they wait till his contract
think-
dies out because he's getting paid $37 million. What team wants to take
Yeah,
that?
that's what I was gonna say. You're not gonna really get a team to take that contract.
Yeah, that's true. All right, number 8. This was a very emotional one. When I was watching it, when he got selected, very emotional. I like this player a lot. I had him, Obi Toppin, to the Knicks. I think it's exactly what the Knicks needed, especially because this is his hometown. He that's why he was really emotional at one point, because that's his hometown. He's going to play for his hometown.
That probably played the biggest factor in the Knicks. I shouldn't
They
say the
need
biggest,
that.
Big, yeah.
but I think that played a big factor in the Knicks picking.
Definitely. Because the Knicks, they don't have an identity, and to get people to the Knicks right now, you need to get guys that love New York.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna select a point guard, but I thought they were gonna get a point guard because they need a better point guard.
Yeah, I thought that too. They'll still have to fix that. But
Dennis Smith Jr. I think they just got to give him a little while, and he'll be a solid
Maybe.
point guard.
it's the Knicks. They're gonna go free agency. They're gonna go hard at some
Maybe
interesting
Westbrook.
players. They're
They
gonna
might
look
trade
at
for
Westbrook.
Westbrook.
I heard something. They're gonna try to get Hayward. They're gonna
that
saw
could
that.
happen.
They're gonna try to put a team together. It's not gonna be a good team,
That
but
could
they're
happen.
gonna try to put a team together. I think they're gonna go for Westbrook.
But yeah, he really fits with the Knicks. Obi does because, I mean, he's gonna give them energy. He's gonna give them some oomph. Give some Knicks fans some happiness because I think he'll give them. He's
Well,
very explosive.
Now you have Toppin along with Robinson down there.
And
I think
Kevin.
that's a good.
And then Kevin.
We're gonna
Knox
see
at
some
the
good
Philly.
dunks from him. We're gonna see some
Yeah.
very good dunks from
And then
him.
you have a shooting guard.
Well, he's a very energy type player. He
Yeah.
definitely is gonna fit in New York. He brings the energy to the crowd.
Yeah.
For sure.
When I saw
for
his
sure he
highlight
does.
reel, it's literally like dunk, dunk, dunk.
Yeah.
I think we're probably gonna see him in the dunk contest.
RJ Barrett.
The crowd,
Oh, yeah.
RJ Barrett as
with
well.
yeah, the crowd just chanting in college. The crowd they had their own
Yeah.
chant for Obi.
Yeah.
You know,
He's a
he's
good
gonna
player.
connect.
And
to
he's a
the-
good defender too.
Yeah.
He can defend too. So yeah. All right. Next up at 9, Denny Adiva to the Wizards.
This is my favorite
All right.
pick right here.
Talk to us about it.
Him to the Wizards. The highlight of my draft was the Wizards for this pick
okay.
alone, just because they're building such a good team right now, and nobody saw this coming.
Do you think they'll give away Beal?
I don't think so, because you're building.
Yeah, I don't know why they would
right now.
because they got a solid
Yeah.
team right now.
I think they could realistically be a low 8th seed, maybe. Maybe they get in the playoff in the play-in tournament.
There's rumors
But-
of them trading Wall for Westbrook.
I don't think that'll happen. That's just a disaster. You're
Yeah.
trading. Not.
I feel like that's a disaster on both sides.
Yeah, you're trading a disaster for a disaster.
Yeah, especially because
I
Wall
wouldn't
and
say
Beal fit
Westbrook's a
pretty good.
disaster, and I like Wall, but just you don't know right now. You don't know with this injury.
Yeah, that's true.
concerns.
That's true. But I mean, bringing on Denny, it gives them a little more like court intelligence. He's a good playmaker. He's good at like cutting and running the floor off the
Off
ball.
ball,
He's
great,
good at
yeah.
good at off ball. I think he's going to be good for them. I think he's going to be good
Yeah,
for them.
he is. They have a good team right now. They just need I think they just need a center now, and they'll be doing pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, they're gonna be. That's my. If, as much as I don't like them because we wanted Beal, I got to give it to them.
They made some good moves.
Yeah.
All right, next guy, Suns draft Jalen Smith.
Yeah,
What do you think?
I mean the Suns, they've gotten now they have good. They make some good trades, and now they have the 9th pick, which they brought in. They brought in Jalen, and I mean, that's not what I guessed, but it gives them another like rim finisher and just another option. He's probably gonna go off the bench, but it just gives them another option.
Well, they don't have a lot of
scoring bunches.
The Suns don't have a lot of big men right now.
That's true.
On their roster, contracted, they don't.
Yeah.
So I think they just picked I think they just wanted to pick a big man because they're gonna need one in the future.
Yeah, he has
so.
potential too as a shooter. He's got a soft touch, which I mean, now they've got 2 pretty solid shooters. But to come off the bench, they do need a solid bench player to come off the bench and score in bunches.
Yeah.
So I think that'll be good for them.
All right, next
All right,
guy.
number 11th, the Spurs.
I like this one too.
Devin Vassell.
That's a great one for the Spurs. That's a Spurs pick right there.
Who had him?
I don't think I had him.
I don't have him either. But-
I had him. I
All right,
said
tell us about him.
I didn't say he'd go to the Spurs, but I thought he was going to go earlier in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good player. He's a good shooter, or not good shooter, but he's a scorer. He's a big shooting guard, 6'7". So
Dang, that is pretty big.
Who would you
He's
say
gonna
that
be
was going to
good.
be arguably one of the best foreign guys? Is that Devin Vassell?
no, that was Denny Avdija.
Oh, Denny Avdija, yeah.
But Vassell is going to be a great player, especially for the
Yeah.
Spurs. He's going to go into that team. He's going to turn out pretty good with them.
Yeah, he's a smooth athlete. He's got a good, well-rounded
Yeah.
game.
It makes me think, what are they going to do with DeRozan?
Yeah.
Yeah. shooting guard position.
Yeah.
He'll probably come off the bench, but I can see him growing into a starter.
Yeah.
Because he's smart. He
Well,
takes
yeah,
good shots. He takes very good shots. He's got good range.
He's a good player.
If he stays consistent, I can see him starting. Yeah. All right. Number 12.
Tyrese Haliburton.
Watching the draft, it was interesting because he thought he was going to be a lot higher. You could tell every pick he wasn't every pick he wasn't picked, he got a little anxious. And he was like, "Where am I going to go? Where am I going to go?" And it kept falling. And I was like, "Wow, is someone going to pick him up? Because it's a steal. He's a good player." And to the Kings, I think he's going to fit good with the Kings.
Yeah, I saw him going to the Knicks.
You said him going to the Knicks?
Yeah, but
yeah,
I think
I think I saw that too.
The Kings is an interesting team. He's a point guard. He's obviously not going to start over De'Aaron Fox.
No, I think he's going to be a good option to come
team,
off the bench.
Which is interesting at the 12th pick. I guess the Kings kind of have their team set. Maybe they needed a shooting guard. I bet they were watching for Devin Vassell.
Yeah.
And seeing if he was going to fall to them, but he didn't. So Tyrese Haliburton, he's a good player.
Yeah, he's a good shooter.
He's not going to be a keystone of their team, but he's going to be a great backup.
He's going to be good to come out on the bench for Fox. They're going to be a good team, but not playoff ready yet.
They're going to be up there. I think 10th seed.
10th seed, yeah. They might be able to fight.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun to watch because with the new season, they're doing the play-in tournament.
That's going to be
fun. There's going to be a lot more fight for like 9th, 10th seeds to get into that. I think I liked how they did that, and I liked how they're bringing it back.
Yeah.
All right, number 13, Kira Lewis Jr. to the Pelicans.
I like this. Kira.
What do you guys think?
To the WNBA.
But yeah, he's a combo guard. He's very fast. I talked about this last podcast. He's very fast. The Pelicans don't have really a lot of speed. Of course, you got big man Zion. So I think he'll be good to come off the bench. Good speed. I think he's going to be good for them.
Well, they need to run. That team needs to run. Lonzo at point.
He thrives in making plays off transition.
Does he?
So that's why he's good being fast, because he makes really good plays off
It'll
transition.
work out because that team
and
needs
he's good
to
into
be
getting
a
into
fast
lanes. He's a good playmaker. I saw him going. I guess he was going to the Kings because they're a fast team. But I guess they didn't really need that, and they got Tyrese, which is good for them. But I think he fits good with the Pelicans coming off the bench. All right, 2 more.
Aaron Naismith
going to the Celtics.
The Celtics. You have everything you need at this point.
I think they're gonna make a trade.
Well, yeah, I think now.
Mm-hmm.
I think for sure, no matter what happens. Well, and actually, Gordon Hayward just declined his player option.
Yeah, Gordon Hayward. We'll talk about that. That's our next segment.
Yeah, but I think it's a good pick. I mean, you get a backup at your small forward.
Mm-hmm.
It's always good to have that. He's going to be a good player. These teams with great rosters already who are just stacking up assets kind of annoys me because you see a lot of great potential players who are going to teams and are going to be backups. But
they grow into starters.
You could say that. Somebody might say, like, you're playing behind guys who are going to teach you a lot, like whoever played behind Chris Paul, right? You learn a lot in your off the bench. But you just, with that Celtics organization, you don't have room to move up the ladder. You know, you're not going to be starting for that team.
But, I mean, he's a good scorer. He averaged 23 points last year in his sophomore year.
That's a lot for a college player.
Yeah, he's a high-level shooter. I think he's going to be amazing to come off the bench for them and you score in bunches. I think it's going to fit very well.
I just wish he had a team where he could start on, you know?
Yeah.
I like his name. I just like
Aaron
his name.
Naismith.
Sometimes the name, it does it for you. You know what I mean?
Here's a name I like. Cole Anthony.
Dude, I love this pick.
15.
I really like this
All right,
pick.
tell us why you like it. Cole Anthony to the Magic.
I had Cole. And I actually thought he was going to go later in the draft. I'm kind of surprised that he went that high. But I love...
In high school, he nearly averaged a triple-double.
Yeah.
That's pretty... I mean, that's high school. This is the NBA.
This is the NBA, man.
This is the NBA.
Dogs. But I like it because I like the combo of him and Fultz. They're very similar players.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I like the idea of Cole Anthony getting to run his own team. I like because I
Yeah, he's
don't.
very aggressive. He's confident,
Yeah.
and that's what you need in a team. You need you need a player. You need a confident player, and I think he's gonna fit good there.
Yeah, it's a good pick.
I like the. I don't know. I just
And he's a good defender.
Some players,
He's a good defender.
Some players just fit. Some players just fit with the team. You know how like a player just fits with the team and it's just perfect. I think he fits.
The Magic are going to be a weird team until they find a way to trade Aaron Gordon.
Yeah.
Once Aaron Gordon's gone, you're going to see the direction that the Magic are moving in. But they've had Aaron Gordon for how long? And it's been looking like he's going to be gone for the whole time they've had him.
They're going to have to make some moves for that.
Yeah, he's going to... I'd look for him to be gone, and then you're going to see where the Magic are going with their team.
They still have Vucevic as well.
That's true.
And what are they going to do?
I think he could have
Vucevic?
high trade value.
I think so too.
It's weird. The Magic are so quiet.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
What are they doing? Yeah. Mo Bamba too. They have Mo Bamba coming off. Do you guys remember when
they have some good role players.
Yeah.
They have a good team. It's just Aaron Gordon needs to be gone.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember when everyone would just bump to the Mo Bamba song? And like most of the people,
No one doesn't
all
even
the
know.
girls
Yeah.
dancing to that song, they don't even know who Mo Bamba is, dude. A bunch of fakers.
Yeah. But yeah, we're gonna have to see what they do. They're gonna need to make some moves. But yeah, all right. Well, that is it for our 15 picks in the draft. Next week we're gonna hit the next 15 up to the 30. So make sure to come back for that. And to our third and final segment, free agents. There's not too many big ones like as last year or next year. Holy crap, there's a lot of big ones next year. But there's still some solid ones. Who do you want to start off with first?
Let's start off with a couple players that denied their player option. So
right.
Anthony Davis, he did.
Yes, he declined his player option, but he's going to re-sign with them. I can almost 100% confirm that because he's going to get more money, and he's probably going to get more years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to stay with them. I mean,
the Supermax.
You're Anthony Davis.
He's eligible for the Supermax.
Yeah. It looks like they're going to win the championship next year. Why would you leave?
Yeah. Yeah, very true.
Why would you leave? And it looks like he's going to be... I mean, LeBron, he's coming into the end of his career. I know he's always going to be an amazing player, but he's coming to the end. It's kind of turning into Anthony's team a little bit.
Yeah.
Of course, LeBron's the king, but it's turning into he's the main player.
Yeah,
but
he's going to be the face of LA.
Yeah, he's definitely going to stay.
Yeah.
All right, another player that declined their player option, Gordon Hayward.
It was interesting.
Where do you guys think he could land?
Well, he's still got one more year with the Celtics. He's still like...
No, he declined.
Yeah, he declined.
His player
So he's a free agent right now.
Yeah.
So like the Knicks could go after and try to sign him.
My issue with Hayward is...
Goes back to the Jazz.
I saw rumors about that. We don't really have the cap. I don't know if you guys saw the Jazz have made a lot of trades. Like we just gave away Ed Davis. We just gave away Tony Bradley. And we didn't get like anything in return. Basically at all.
So just clearing cap?
We're just clearing cap. I think we're going to re-sign Clarkson. Of course, we have to re-sign Clarkson.
Well, you have to give him a bigger contract as well.
We're going to re-sign Clarkson, give him a little bit of a big contract, and we're going to have no money. We're going to have enough money to make one free agent signing, not too big. Not too big. Maybe a little like a power forward, but we don't have enough for Gordon Hayward. I wish we could because that would be awesome. But I don't think we have enough money for him.
The Knicks are the leading option for me, just because they have $40 million in cap space.
Oh yeah,
and they're just gonna throw.
It just
money
depends
at
if he
guys.
wants to play with them. Does he want to play for a team that's going to go into far into the playoffs, or does he want to play for the Knicks, where he could if he plays good, he could become the face.
Well, here's the issue with Gordon Hayward is he wants long-term money.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably going to try to get a $17 million contract. Nobody's going to give that to him this year.
Yeah, he didn't.
I think
play to it.
Yeah, I think his
capacity.
His best option, unless he's just going to re-sign with the Celtics, which is
it's a possibility because there's a team where you're going to have the action. Yeah. You're going to have the playoff. Yeah. You're going to have some fun in there.
I just think he's gonna want money, and nobody's gonna give it to him. You know, nobody. I don't think anyone really has a spot.
Yeah.
For Gordon Hayward right now, and nobody really knows what Gordon Hayward can do. I thought the Celtics fit was weird to me. I didn't like it.
I mean, when he got the injury, I think it would have been a lot better if he didn't get the injury. That was a very hard injury
Obviously,
to watch.
yeah.
That was a very hard injury to watch. Huge Jazz fan. Me and my brother, we watched that. It was just crushing to watch.
Yeah.
Because it didn't destroy his career, but it
brought him down.
I feel like
he was moving up, and it brought him down.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
I mean, he was just an all-star.
He's still a good player. That I think he's a third option. You put him on a team, and he moves very well off the ball. He's a very natural, like, just team player. Like, he's a bucket,
He has
too.
natural
He makes shots.
basketball ability.
He makes shots.
Yeah.
It would be interesting.
Mm.
It's not going to happen. So, I don't know why I'm even saying
All right, just
Trailblazers. If the Trailblazers found a way
That would be
to
cool.
get Gordon Hayward,
That would be cool.
I think he'd
He'd be a good fit, yeah.
I think that could fit.
But they're not going to get him. That's the issue.
Maybe
they don't have enough money.
here's a guy for them that might leave. Hassan Whiteside. Maybe if Hassan left,
For Portland?
they might have the money to pick him up.
Do you think Hassan's going to get a big contract?
Nope.
Somewhere else?
No. Hassan is past his.
Is he staying?
He
do you
might
say?
stay. I just think he's past his big contract days. Miami
Yeah.
made that mistake once. Nobody else is gonna. I don't think anyone else is gonna do that. I don't think he even played well enough this year to really give him that contract. You know.
Yeah, like I was saying, I like them to get Aldridge.
Yeah.
But I think in order to get Aldridge, well, I mean, it's not really their choice, but we'll just have to see. I think he might leave. He might stay. It's
Well,
sort of
that's-
50-50.
I think that's one of the things. You got rid of that Trevor Ariza contract. You did give up 2 picks, but you got rid of that contract.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it'll be interesting.
Yeah, but they need room to re-sign Carmelo.
Yeah,
Which they're gonna. I think they should
I think
do.
if they
should
don't re-sign
sign
him, he'll go to
Carmelo.
the Knicks.
Carmelo to the Knicks?
I think
No,
he'll
I
go
think
to the Knicks
Carmelo's
if they
done
don't
with the
re-sign him.
Knicks.
I think he'll go.
I think he's done with the Knicks.
I think that
Like-
was the. I think he realizes that was the worst thing for his career that he ever did.
I don't know.
It's sad. It's sad to me that
They'll
Melo
probably
went
re-sign
to
him
the
though,
Knicks.
because I feel like that's sort of his home now. All right.
What about Paul Millsap?
Paul Millsap. Yep. That's what I was gonna say.
Is he gonna sign back to the Nuggets just for a whole bunch less money? He's
Let
still
me tell you something.
played
Paul
great.
was an insane player. He did show up in the playoff series versus the Jazz.
That one game, he
Yeah.
brought them back.
Yeah.
He did
Not-
show up.
It wasn't against the Jazz. It was against the Clippers.
Clippers.
He brought them back that one game. That was a big contract
Yeah.
move.
His career is on the decline, but he's still a really good player.
He's a great vet.
I think that team, they're gonna have a great year next year.
The
They're gonna
Nuggets,
have.
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
they're gonna have a good year next year. I see Millsap staying because if I'm him, I don't see where I could go somewhere else
Where
that
else do
I'd
you
have. I mean, he's already good with the players. You know, he's has his role there. I don't see him going somewhere else, having to start new when he already has a solid team he's playing with.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you guys want to get into Toronto, because Marc Gasol is on a
Marc
expiring
Gasol
contract.
and Serge Ibaka
and
Fred
Fred
Van
VanVleet.
Fleet.
So where are those?
This could
where are
be
all those
crazy
guys
for their
going?
team. I think if one of them leaves, the rest of them leave.
Van Fleet is going to look for a big contract. I think at least.
Which he should.
Yeah, he should.
Where do you guys think
Definitely
he could
should.
fit?
There's
That's
a lot of places.
Great question.
I think he
He's-
could fit maybe with the Nets.
He's just small.
Yeah. They averaged 17 points
I think he's
last year.
gonna
That's
try to go
crazy.
somewhere where he starts. I think he wants.
You think so?
I think he wants to move his career forward. I think he's gonna try to go somewhere he starts, whether that's a good team or a
Maybe Indiana.
subpar team.
I think he could maybe work with
They
Indiana.
have Malcolm Brogdon though, and Malcolm Brogdon
That's
is
true.
their that's their same type of guy. They already have a Fred VanVleet of their own.
You know what? I
Yeah,
was
I guess
hearing
that's
that was
true.
interesting. And if the Raptors have cap space after this, is you remember what the Raptors did with Kawhi. I was hearing potentially you're the Raptors, you make a trade for James Harden, and you do a similar thing to what you did with Kawhi. But the thing is, just what do you give up for James Harden?
Well, James Harden has his contract
Yeah.
will expire next year, so they won't
Does
be
it?
able to trade him away. Well,
No, they can trade him.
They
the
can-
Nets will, or the Rockets are going to trade him away. His contract expires next year.
I think so. I think he's a free agent. Don't quote me
It
on
could be
it,
a
though,
repeat on what
Like
happened
just
with
do another
Kawhi.
Yeah, it
run,
could
another
be.
Kawhi.
I don't see them
would.
getting
I would,
too far, even if they get.
but I mean, actually, I wouldn't because I think Toronto has a good thing going. I think they're building a good.
I think they could stay and maybe pick someone else up.
Yeah.
Well,
I
maybe they pick up like a Gallinari or someone else like someone else like a fit. Because like I said, I think if Ibaka leaves or Van Fleet leaves, like I see them all staying or all leaving.
I think Ibaka's leaving.
I see Ibaka leaving. There's
Ibaka's
a lot of
leaving.
teams who are going to look to get
They're
Ibaka.
very interested
Yeah.
in Ibaka.
He did very good last year. I think a lot of teams, like you said, could use him, and he's gonna have high demand.
Well, he could
maybe see that also the Raptors are not gonna be high in the playoffs, and he can move somewhere to maybe look for.
But I mean, the Raptors got second seed. Let's not forget, Raptors
yeah,
got
well,
second seed.
that was
last
in
year.
a different East. Now it's gonna be a completely different East.
Yeah.
now.
I think
very
you have to
true.
think about how they went out. They went out barely almost-
against the Celtics.
Well, no, but you thought they would lose against the
Yeah.
Celtics, and you knew they would lose against Miami. I think when in that scenario, you need to make changes to your team because those teams are improving. Boston's improving.
Yeah,
Miami's
they
improving.
need to improve with
the
them.
Nets are improving. So they need to do something.
Yeah.
And that's not going to be the same team next year, is what I know.
yeah.
All right, I got a guy for you, Gordon Dragic.
Oh yeah, he's gonna resign. I think if you're interested in Goran Dragic, hearing about him, he's gonna have a front-loaded contract. We're gonna give him big money this year, and then it'll either be a 1-year deal with big money, or it'll be a front-loaded contract where you see a lot of money this year and not a lot of money next year, because everyone knows what Miami's going for next year.
What's his price then? Are you saying 13 mil,
I'd give
15
him,
mil?
I'd give him 17 if you can afford it. I'd give him 17 because it's just a 1-year contract.
Yeah.
Dragic's earned it for Miami.
And then drop it down to 8 or 7.
Yeah, drop it down around there, maybe 8 or 7. And then another guy we have to look at is Jay Crowder, because he's also gonna be a
I think
guy.
you need to try to keep him. He was very
Oh,
good.
definitely. He was
very
a
good for you
huge
guys
part of the
last
team.
year.
Yeah. We definitely
A very good
need
option to give the ball. You need to keep him.
Yeah, Miami needs to keep Jay Crowder, and then so
Are you signing anyone? Do you think?
I think if we did, it would be a center, but we're not gonna throw any money at any guys long term.
Yeah.
It's gonna be maybe
Maybe you
what
get
we
like
want,
Tristan Thompson or something.
Yeah, somebody on either a 1-year deal or a smaller contract. I think we might go for a center.
Yeah, I can see it.
What I know about Miami is they're not going to just do nothing because they want Giannis. They're going to make moves to try to win, because every year for them is they want to win, and Giannis isn't a guarantee.
Do you think Giannis is going to sign the Supermax?
Not this year. He's definitely going to wait, see what happens with the Bucks.
Yeah, I think I agree. He'll wait because now that they made this move, it looks good for them. It didn't look good for them before, but of course they made this move. So now, I mean, there's not too much of a reason to leave now. We're just gonna have to wait till next year.
You just don't know. You don't know how it's going to turn out. Jrue Holiday's 30. The thing is, if you're Giannis, you look at what is the future. Giannis is still young. He's 25, I think. So what is the future of this team? Chris Middleton, he's around his 30s.
He's
Jrue
20. He's in his prime.
Yeah,
he's
you
27.
Jrue Holiday's
Good point.
31, I think. And they just traded all their draft picks away. For me, that's not... If I'm Giannis, that's not a good... I'm looking at... We can't get any free agents now. What makes me think the future is going to be any different?
That's true.
And now you traded away your whole future. All your draft picks are gone. I think if I'm Giannis, that trade did more to make me think about leaving than it did to make me think about staying.
Well, but he wants to win. And they're like, Giannis, we can get... they're finally giving him the pieces to win now.
If it looks like next year he can't win with the Bucks, but he can win with the Heat, he could probably go to the Heat.
Yeah, and he said what it's going to come down to is if he feels like he can win with whatever team he's on. So
all right, let's talk about like 2 more so we can save some for the next.
Well, I want to.
So who do you got?
The few last guys I want to talk about, definitely think we should talk about is Gallinari from the Thunder, and then Tristan Thompson, and then Brandon Ingram. Don't forget Brandon Ingram's also.
Brandon Ingram, are you sure?
Yeah, he's on the.
Yeah, he is.
But I don't think he's not
That
leaving.
is very interesting.
But he's on the list. Jeremy Grant as well is on the list. I mean,
Harrell.
Yeah, let's
Harrell too.
Yeah.
Harrell's a big one. So
let's save some for the next one, so we can put it into two. But like you said,
let's talk about Harrell and Gallinari because I think
all right,
those
Harrell
are
and
two
Gallinari.
big names.
Yeah,
that
let's
could be
get
moved
Harrell and
around.
Gallinari. I see Harrell, depending what they do with Paul George, I see him probably staying because they're definitely still a really good team. I see him. He's a big. He didn't start, did he?
No,
I think
he's
they should.
sixth man.
I think they should start him.
Well, they like Zubac. They like starting Zubac and then having Harrell come off the bench with that same team, which is really good.
There was good. They did have good rotation.
I could see him staying or leaving.
I can see him leaving just because I feel like he's not. He doesn't. I mean, the Clippers should run it back because they can win a championship.
I think this year was.
But I think they might have to make a little change.
I feel like he didn't feel respected in his role.
I think so too. I think this year was a weird year for the Clippers. I think it just brought the morale way down.
Yeah.
I think they had good camaraderie the year before this year, and I think the playoffs, not even just the playoffs, I think the whole year was just, every day was just a lowering morale, you know? So he might be unhappy there. He might want to leave. And a lot of teams are going to look for him.
They need to figure out the whole Kawhi situation. Because, as you know, like some of the players were a little unhappy of how he's getting unfair treatment. So there's some stuff in the team that they need to fix.
Yeah.
But if they can do that, I see him saying if it looks like they're not having good chemistry, he could probably leave. Where do you guys think he could land?
Harold, he's a guy that he can go anywhere, just depending on the cap.
He could go to the Heat.
He could go to the Heat.
He could go to Miami, but it's just the money, you know?
That's the thing. Whatever team's going to be able to have the cap.
A lot of people are saving their money for next free agency because they know that's a stacked free agency class.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. I think people are saying that this year isn't a good year. I don't think it's that it's not a good year because there's some guys who can really change your team in this free agency.
Oh, yeah. Harold's one of them.
Yeah, nobody's willing to sacrifice the future.
They don't want give up big money.
Yeah.
You don't want to give up big money right now and then.
That's true.
You know, but you definitely want to be attractive to upcoming free agents.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, we'll have to see where he lands. I think it's like a 50-50 chance he stays or he leaves.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
All right.
Gallinari. He's not signing with the Thunder. He's going somewhere else.
He's going somewhere else because it looks like they're not going to be competing. They're growing. I think he's a good role player.
He's a great player.
He's a good role player. I
think
see
he's
him
bigger
going
than a role player. He's a really good player that's super underrated. I just don't know where.
Earlier, the Hawks are interested.
The Hawks are.
That could be a good pickup.
The Hawks are interested in him and Rondo.
That could make the Hawks a threat.
Not to talk about Miami too much, but they were rumored.
They were trying to trade for him.
They were trying to trade for him
at the trade deadline.
They didn't. I think he was overvalued, and that makes me think they won't go for him because I think he will be overvalued in free agency.
He can make a $15 million contract. He's going to be up there with $15 million.
I don't think he'll be in Miami. People are talking about it, but I don't think so.
What about the Wizards?
The no, because they're trying to get Davis Bertans back.
Oh yeah.
They got to re-sign Thomas Bryant as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If they want to keep that little core together.
Well, what about the Trailblazers?
I like that, but they don't have the cap.
That's the money.
Trailblazers don't have the cap.
If the Trailblazers,
that's the thing.
I'd have to see who's eating up their cap.
Well, they got to re-sign Carmelo as well.
Yeah.
There's moves I wish they
Dame,
could make.
CJ, and can't believe I'm forgetting the center's name. Nurkic.
Oh, Nurkic.
Yeah,
Nurkic. They both getting paid close to $30 million each.
Yeah.
So
all I know is he's gonna leave. We're gonna have to see where he goes. It's gonna be interesting. He can make a big impact on a team.
Yeah, he can.
We're just gonna have to see.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's finish one more player. Rajon Rondo.
Rajon Rondo.
Just for fun.
I see him possibly going to the Pelicans.
Going back to the
Pelicans.
You don't think he's going to resign with the Lakers?
I don't see why.
Oh, actually no, because they just picked up George Hill, so probably not. And Eric Bledsoe, so probably not. Yeah, never mind. I saw that before, but now.
There's rumors on him going to the Clippers.
Oh, I did see that. He does want to go there. He does
So-
want. He does want to go there.
That'd be interesting.
To switch Patrick Beverly and Rajon Rondo on the same team, that'd be fun.
That would be. I can see him going there. I don't know if he'll start. I think he'll come off the bench.
That's a weird chemistry move.
Yeah.
It is. But-
Yeah.
I think
all right.
he'd help them win, but
Yeah. We'll have to see because he's also getting older.
Well, yeah, but he played great with the Lakers last year, so. But
All right.
yeah.
Well, we're gonna cover some
Free
more
ag-
free agents in the upcoming weeks.
Free agent starts this Friday, so it's gonna be fun. As soon as they're popping off,
that's the moratorium.
we gotta
And then I
before,
think
yeah.
signing starts Sunday.
yeah.
Yep.
So
But hey, hope you like this pod. Make sure to catch the upcoming ones. See ya. Waterboys out.